This is Meteorologist Matthew East. Thank you for clicking onto this latest edition of the Carolina weather video for this Thursday, the 9th day of October. And it is a dreary, damp morning across the Carolinas. Now, not a lot of actual rain falling across North Carolina as I'm cutting this video during the 5 o'clock hour. There's some light rain, certainly some drizzle and mist and fog, but most of the appreciable rain is off to our south, and that's where the heaviest rain has been. Georgia into South Carolina, some spots in Georgia and South Carolina picking up over 3 inches of rain over the past 24 hours, and there was some severe weather down to our south as well. In fact, down, unfortunately, in Enterprise, Alabama, another tornado yesterday. That's just the opposite of what those folks need to have to deal with. And a lot of cloud cover around the Carolinas this morning, and we will not see a good deal of sunshine at all today. In fact, probably no sun at all in most spots, with us staying pretty much socked in with cloud cover through the day. The reason, pinwheeling upper air low pressure that's situated right here over Georgia and Alabama, and that's slowly drifting off to the south and filling and weakening with time. And that's just sort of pulling this fetch of Gulf of Mexico and Atlantic moisture right up into the Carolinas. And that's obviously a very damp pattern around here. The surface chart across the lower 48, the surface low centered not far from Dothan, Alabama there. And that is, again, gradually moving southward with time. Temperature-wise, it's a mild start to the day across the Carolinas. But again, we'll stay socked in with cloud cover, so we're only talking about, in the Piedmont, low to mid-70s for high temperatures out there for this afternoon. There's your temperatures this morning. We're looking at most spots in the 60s across the Carolinas, a little cooler off to the northwest in the mountains and the foothills. And speaking of the mountains, I'll go ahead and show you the fall foliage report. And most of the mountains seeing some pretty decent color right now. In fact, around the Grandfather Mountain area, the peak of the fall foliage probably occurring within the next 3 to 5 days through this weekend and early next week, and then the lower elevations seeing the peak of the color as we go through the next week to 2 weeks. So some good color to be seen up in the North Carolina mountains, and the weather over the weekend should look pretty good up there in the high country. All right, this is the 0Z GFS 500 millibar chart valid at 2 o'clock on this Thursday afternoon, and there's your upper air low, still sitting over parts of Georgia and eastern Alabama. Notice it's cut off from the flow, that main flow pattern off to the north. And this low, like I mentioned, is filling with time. That's 2 o'clock today. There's 2 o'clock tomorrow. The low is essentially vanished as it continues to fill and weaken. And as we get on into the day here coming up on Saturday, thing to notice here is a ridge developing across the southeastern part of the country. That'll be a factor for us as we get into the beginning of next week. Pretty mild pattern coming up over the next week. All right, in terms of the surface chart, 2 o'clock this afternoon, the pattern favors some occasional shower activity today. Could be a few thunderstorms around the Charlotte region this afternoon. The better chances for that, again, staying off to our south. There we are, 2 o'clock tomorrow on Friday afternoon. Still could be some drizzle, but Friday sort of the transition day. Notice this high pressure area here over the eastern Great Lakes. That is building down into our area, so gradually drier air will filter into our area, and that'll set us up for some very nice weekend weather. Here you go on Saturday, 2 in the afternoon. That high pressure building on down, probably a partly cloudy sky for Saturday, highs in the 70s. Sunday, again in the 70s with a good deal of sunshine. So for the Bank of America 500, Saturday evening at Lowe's Motor Speedway, should not be any weather-related problems whatsoever. Good weather for the race. All right, going ahead now to Monday. High pressure sitting directly overhead, lots of sunshine and getting warmer with time. Highs Monday, upper 70s to lower 80s. Then all of us into the 80s, it looks like, for Tuesday afternoon. And here comes another cold front pushing our way. That will continue moving eastward. But the thing to note here is the associated sort of parent low pressure area way up north. Most of the dynamics way up to the north of our area, so that front will really lose a lot of its gusto as it pushes into our area. In fact, it'll probably fall apart just to our north and not have a substantial push of cool air into our area for midweek. Again, it looks like a relatively mild pattern, at least through the middle of next week. All right, that's it for this latest edition of the Carolina weather video. I will be on the road as we go through Friday and the weekend, so the next video hopefully posted on Monday morning. We'll see if we get some software issues straightened out, but that's my plan, to have another video posted on Monday morning. All right, that's it for this edition of the video. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and God bless.